DWTT coming to you. The Emirates. Here we go on our way down. Say hi, Mark.
What's going on? Happy.
And down there, what do we got? On the stoop, low. Hello, we're at the Tollington. Hello, we're at the Tollington. We just saw a couple players go by. Bruce Nelson, Jintenko, and dude. No player just went by. It's crazy. No player just went by. This is great. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the road trip. I've got Sam, and he just has Mr. Tom, but he's still cleaning himself up from the game that he witnessed the earlier today, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But before we do that, we'll do a little quick intro, and we'll be right back. This is DWTT coming to you. The Emirates. All right. Hello. Welcome to the show's The Road Trip, where we start off on a straight path, and then we don't know where we go after that. So we'll see how we go today. How you doing, Sam?
I'm very good. Thank you, Gary. Thank you for having me on as always. It's a pleasure. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I got up early today just because everybody in my house got up early because they were leaving early in the morning. But so then I just sat around and I hit refresh on the Twitter, hoping for some good news. And no news happened. No. How you doing, Mr. Tom?
I'm ill.
Right, you know what? Next, you know what? You know what? You're speechless. So, you know, I'll say it for you. I'll express how you're feeling.
Please do.
Okay, so a report. Partey's rib injury. It's probably not as big as we thought it was. So for those who were wondering what Mr. Tom was all choked up about, it's that, right?
That's exactly it. That's exactly what I was worried about all night when I couldn't sleep. I was thinking, what if Partey's not available for the next game of a team I don't support? Oh, yeah.
Well. So, Mr. Tom, how are you feeling? How are you feeling?
You know what? I'm going to say many things I hate in football, but very few things I hate more than the Friday night game and an early kickoff for the Saturday. Because if they don't go your way, then generally speaking, your weekend is just watching other teams have the opportunity to get away from you. I know that's different in the context that we're in a cup weekend, but generally speaking, it's still awful if you lose the Friday or the early game. But didn't go too badly for us today, though, did it? Mm-hmm. Oh, you drew Accrington Stanley. Yeah, and we beat their brains in.
What, 3-1?
Yeah, it could have been worse.
Yeah,
it could have been worse.
It should have been about 10.
Yeah. So let's say hello to our friends who have joined us. Biggs Gunner is in the house. Welcome to the show. Good morning, afternoon, everyone.
My close personal friend, BX.
Pink Cushion has joined us. Now, Pink Cushion is... I don't want to mess the name up.
It's Ian.
It is Ian. Okay, I was going to say it, but I'm always like, I forget. Yep. Ian, welcome to the show. Good afternoon. Yep. The man Furpo.
We let them score at the end. It was what you call 4D chess because Furpo got the second goal, right? So Furpo was like, well, if I let this cross go through my legs, leading to an Accrington goal, then technically I got the winning goal. And I was like, Junior, that's just you're more forward thinking, and I wouldn't have thought of that. But Junior Furpo's like, he's on a different plane of existence to us mere mortals. So
Tayyib, welcome to the show. And he says, "How can you do good when Arsenal got beat last night, Gary? Give us some good news for once." Dude, I want to give you good news. That's why I kept refreshing the Twitter. But Casado deal looks like in one breath. I don't understand. You guys can tell me how this works. It's Brighton, right? So
Yeah.
Brighton is telling him he cannot come back to the squad until after the window, but also
Which
Brighton
they're
is
right
saying you
to do.
cannot leave.
No,
Well,
what they're
they-
saying is
No,
what
that is what they're saying to me.
I don't care what they're saying to you. I'll tell you what they're really saying. What they're really saying is it makes no sense to keep you around the squad when you've and I don't think his message was that bad. Like there have been far worse ways for players to do this. But he's basically said, I don't want to play here or I don't want to play for this team anymore. So why bring him into training?
But they are going to bring him back. So obviously,
No, they're not.
yeah, they're saying after the window's over, you'll be back.
No, what they've done is basically they've implied we want 75 million. You've turned around, you've done the Arsenal thing that you do where you go, our offer is 60. And they're like, yeah, all right, lads. You've already had one of our 60 million players for half price because he also didn't want to be here.
That's not
Not
our
letting
fault.
this
You
happen
can't
to you
turn around and
twice.
say just because we had to get rid of Trotsard, guess what? We're going to make it up on the other side. Nah. You can't do that either. Then
That's not what I'm saying.
You can't say what you just
I'm
said.
saying no, that's not what I said. What I'm saying is they're not going to let you bend them over twice.
No, that's what you're. We didn't bend them over.
Of course you did.
No. They were already over.
Are you telling me
already over.
Trossard is really worth 28 million?
We didn't get close to them. They were already bent over, ready.
Have you seen Trossard play yet?
Talking in these bad terms already. I don't stop it, Mr. Tom.
Well, so you think Trossard was really worth 28 million?
I would say yes.
Yes, he was, because that's what they sold him for.
If he was happy there, do you think they would have accepted 28 million?
I can only tell you what happened in the deal. I don't know about
anybody.
Everyone knows you did well in that deal.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You did.
I thought you only had a year left.
Just joined us. Welcome.
All
I can tell you, they sold him for 28, and that's what we paid.
I think he only had a year left on his contract.
I don't stalk their contracts, just the people who write them.
No, I think he only had a year left on his contract. That's why his price was cut. Whereas Caicedo, they obviously want to get as much money for him as possible because they think he's an asset. He's been left out of the squad because that's what they do to players who aren't, they're currently not interested in playing, obviously. As Tom pointed out, he's come out into the media and actually done something he shouldn't do. So, they're going to keep him out of the playing squad because he obviously his mind's not in the right place at the moment in terms of wanting to play football for Brighton. And they'll keep him out of the squad until things are resolved. Either they will get the price they want. They're not just going to sell him. They're not just going to sell him for the sake of it. Either they'll get the price they want, or he'll stay an Arsenal player. He will stay a Brighton player after the.
You had it right. He'll stay an Arsenal fan. He'll just be pissed off in a blue shirt. That's all.
So, but that's what it's up. It's up to Brighton. It's up to them. The player can he can throw a stroppy fit as much as he wants, but if Brighton don't accept what Arsenal are willing to pay, then it's sorry, Mr. Caicedo, you have to stay here in Brighton Hove Albion, and eat your rock and enjoy your fish and chips.
Yeah, and as Craig, welcome to the show, says here, and Mr. Tom, started his monologue with. Thomas Partey is the injury is not as bad as we thought, and he's expected to play against Everton next Saturday, I believe it is.
Yeah, that's good news.
I've been worried about it all week.
Yeah,
Tom couldn't sleep last night because of this.
Facts.
Player power is dangerous, but you know what? TV dollars is dangerous, right? That's why we're in this predicament as well. So it's a full system go here. Everybody is blamed here. Oh, Chris Cheddars is this Cheddars, right? How you doing?
Big up, Chris.
He made it. Well, thanks for joining us.
Graham Pole's love child has joined us.
Yeah, and we've got
Chris,
any
one
party
of my
news.
fellow FA Cupians.
Yeah, I did anybody? I didn't actually see how he hurt himself. They did show a picture of him with a leg high up in the air, and Harlan was close by, but it sounded like he might have done it to himself.
No, I think he got some kind of blow to the body, to the ribs. I think it's just from what I can tell, it's just a knock. Like a superficial, painful, but it'll go over. It'll pass.
True. Russ has joined us. Welcome to the show, Russ. Thanks for joining.
Russ, he's our resident referee expert.
I saw this on Twitter. 90 million for me. If you're going to pay 90 million now, why don't you just try to push West Ham to get rid of Rice a little bit earlier than they want? Right? What if you gave them 110?
Gary, you don't seem to grasp the concept of that players don't go in the mid-season unless they're unhappy.
He doesn't want to be there either, right?
Rice is happy at West Ham.
He's not
until the summer.
I thought he didn't sign, right? He didn't.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean he wants to leave now. He'll leave in the summer.
Yeah. My understanding is Rice, in theory, he still has a chance to win a European trophy for West Ham. Which would soften the blow of what he really wants to do, as in make a lot of money, essentially, which is what he will do with this transfer. Because the thing with the out-of-contract transfers or the Bosman transfers are, because the club doesn't have to pay the transfer fee, in theory, that gets factored into the wages. So players that go for a Bosman tend to earn more money than players that go for a transfer fee. I can't prove that.
And they get a nice sign-on fee as well.
Exactly. So he's basically sitting there. It's like Sol Campbell. Sol Campbell 20 years ago literally had the chance to join anyone he wanted, really. Like, there were the big teams from around Europe wanted to take Sol Campbell. Like, despite what anyone thinks of him, and he obviously made his choice to go to Arsenal. In hindsight, it was the right choice because he ended up, doing quite well. But part of that was the fact that it was essentially an auction because Tottenham got no money out of it.
Yeah. No, I hear you, Sam. The only reason why I bring up Rice is because if you're going to get that high, you might as well just go get the biggest target that's out there. Whether or not it's going to come through is, up to West Ham, right?
The way I look at it is, if you're willing to pay like 80 million plus for a player, then in my opinion, I would rather wait until the summer and use that money on a player with a big target like Rice or a Camavinga or one of these guys. Where you really need to splash the money, and it's only going to happen in the summer. You're not going to get these guys in January. It has to be the summer. So this Caicedo, for me, he's not worth that amount of money, even though he's a Premier League player and he's a decent looking player.
Sure.
He's not worth that money. He's not Rice money. He's not Camavinga money. So I'd rather wait until the summer. But that being said, we still do need midfield cover. So I'd rather go for someone who's not worth as much. Go for someone who's lower down on the transfer scale. There's a few names been mentioned out there, that we can possibly go for. I can't remember. One of them was apparently a very talented player. I can't remember his name now.
There's a Zubermendi who
I heard you
but he also says he wants to wait until the summer. He's got a release clause, so it's not like we couldn't, push it. But he doesn't want to leave, so I don't.
There's a couple of names, but there's also this guy. I can't remember his name now. He's a Bamba or something. I can't remember, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, he's very. I haven't seen him myself, but I've been reading other people who've seen him and say he's a very, strong, talented, holding midfielder who is basically, you can get. He's worth a lot less money. You can get him for a lot less. Apparently, I'd rather do that type of thing. Than to splash out that amount of money on a Caicedo. It just reeks a bit desperate, to be honest. I'd rather use that money on a Declan Rice.
No, I hear you. I hear you. That's the only reason why I brought up Declan Rice, because if you're going to get close to 100, you might as well go get the target that you really
Yeah.
want.
But
And I mean, I think these are warning shots, right? I mean, we had a warning shot early in the season. We looked at Douglas Luiz. We got another one when El Neni goes down, right?
Yeah, the typical
It's
one.
going to be for a month, and now it could be for the rest of the season. And then Partey goes down. I mean, how many warnings? How many?
No, we need someone.
How do you need until you like?
They will get someone. I feel confident they'll get someone, because with El Neni out and Sambi obviously not being good enough, they do need to get someone, because genuinely all we have at the moment, is Partey. And like you say, even if Partey gets suspended for 3 games, we are in trouble. So we definitely do need that. It's forced their hand. With El Neni injured now, long term, they are going to bring in someone. I feel confident of that. The last few days now, we're going to bring in somebody. Whether it's Caicedo from Brighton, I don't know, but we'll bring in somebody, because we need it. We need that cover.
Yeah.
I like BX's. Go to Leeds, give him 45 million and Lokonga, and we'll take Tyler Adams.
You know what? I've been asking for that, and Tom seems to has a kind of a problem letting that man go. I don't understand. You get one American, you let another one go. You can't.
Are you
keep all
taking
of them.
the piss?
No. I'm serious.
BX.
You don't need that many Americans at your squad, anyways.
No,
you guys can't even speak all of them. You don't understand their language.
This is between me and BX.
He'll understand how to talk to him. Come on.
Between me and BX, yeah. BX, what did I do to you to deserve this flavourless exchange of players? Yeah. I mean, I know what you all think of Lokonga. I've listened to you when you talk. Why would I take him? It's not like you ever talk about the man with reverence, like, he can do a job for you. No, it's always, he's our weakest link. Why are we playing him? What is he doing? And then you think, Tom's stupid enough to fucking take him. No, you think I'm fucking blind, deaf, and dumb? Go Tom, fuck yourself.
He's your level, son.
What is that language for? That's rude.
Let me tell you something, yeah.
He's your level, son.
One thing I'm not is rude, all right? I was perfectly justified in that, because if you're gonna make stupid deals, you're gonna get stupid answers, yeah? Stupid questions, stupid answers.
You guys could deal with a Sambi. Right. You need another number 8, all right? Come on. That's what he's good at.
No. I did hear that you guys were in for Weston McKennie, but then he turned around and went, "Nah, there's only one place I want to go, to a relegation battle." You know why this is? It's a weird transfer, right? And obviously everyone's like, well, he's obviously going there because he's American. He wants to be around his mates and stuff. Probably true. Come on, Chris. Come on,
Chris. You've done this one
you
already, mate.
You would say yes to that, and you'd be okay to let Tyler Adams go, right? If you just you'd be looking over here, and there's Tyler Adams. Sorry, not Tyler Adams, but Eddie Nketiah, and then over here,
my question of the day is relevant to that, no? Just saying, my question of the day is actually similar to his joke.
Oh, there you go.
But no, I'm genuinely I find it quite puzzling. Like I said, everyone knows he's coming to Leeds because of the American thing, and wants to be around his mates and stuff, which unsurprisingly is a draw in football. People want to work with their friends. What a shock. But it is surprising that he's basically turning down, right, they're not going to get in the Champions League, Juventus, based on the 15-point deduction, it seems, right? But generally speaking, he's turning down guaranteed European football to play in, or he's leaving a great team in a good league to join an okay team in a great league. Essentially, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, we are a great team, but I'm just being realistic too. We are the greatest team in the world, if I'm being honest. I mean,
What world is that? Disney World.
Where fantasies come to life. Huh? I don't know about you guys, but I know I come off strong
racist.
when it comes to
strong.
What's that racist? What?
Because we wear white, innit? I mean, you're being all like, oh, let's pick on the white
What's
boys.
that got to do with Disney
Even
World?
though most of our players are not white, but that's all right. That's all right. Because we're a surprisingly diverse team. Well, they were supported by the Nazis, weren't they? We've been.
Oh my God! Really?
Disney.
He's gone there.
Yeah, connections to Nazis.
As
Yeah.
I said.
Oh my God!
There. He's gone
Here
there.
I was thinking he had something against mice.
We got a goal here. It looks like Southampton is up 2-0 on Blackpool.
Oh, thank God for that.
That's a fair point, BX. Although, to be fair, I've actually been rather positive towards El Neni because I've always said like he's the player in your team where you're going to get a 7, like a guaranteed 7 out of 10. You'll never get a 9. You'll never get a 9 out of 10.
He's not bells and whistles, but he does a job for you. He just does a steady job.
He's basically, if you're in a situation where it's like don't concede a goal or hold your shape or whatever, he's perfectly fine to stick in there. But if you were losing and you needed something,
another great thing with El Neni is he knows his place. He knows he's just a squad player. He knows he's not going to be starting games, and he doesn't mind because he knows he's doing a good job with what he's doing.
Part of that, though, Sam, I'm not sure if I'm unfair in saying this, is he knows he's not going to get a better contract anywhere else.
Yeah,
because he is part of the Arsenal class of where you are handing out money for fun, realistically.
Yeah, absolutely. He's getting well paid.
Goal.
Absolutely.
Oh, Fulham just scored.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Fulham.
So Sunderland, I don't know if they're down not or if they're down 2. I don't know what the score is on this thing because it's not showing me a score.
Sorry, that's 1-1.
Okay, so there you go.
There you go.
That is correct, Pincushion. The option to buy is allegedly about 33 million.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a bad deal, right? I don't think 30 for U.S. international national player is.
I'm gonna say we have 6 months to determine whether it's worth paying it.
Yep.
I think that's the fairest way to, 4 months to determine realistically.
All right, so enough of this lead talk. Let's get into something we really want to talk about, right?
Well, you don't talk about winners.
Or top of the league teams? Is that what you mean? Is that what he said, Sam? I don't know. You said top of the league, right? You said teams at the top of their league. Is that what you said?
No. I'm taking advantage of the rare, and it's genuinely rare. A week where you lose and we win. And you're going to say, "Oh, we play Man City and you play that happens."
I am not going to say that because I think we should have won.
I didn't do the FA Cup draw.
No. You're not going to get
advantage of it.
Not today, buddy. No, not today.
Accrington Stanley, you let a bunch of fucking accountants score against you.
That's true. That's actually
that sounds like an
true.
Accounting firm, not a fucking football team.
No. It's true. It's actually true. We did let them score because we're nice. Yeah. We were new Leeds United. We're not dirty Leeds. We're new Leeds United, and we were like 3-0 up.
Yeah,
it was. I don't know if you guys have that over. If you guys have that over there, it was. It was. They brought the youngsters in, and you showed them how it felt to score a goal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was a bit like we basically just went over the top of the game and went, let's give something for the people that bet on both teams to score. Bit of charity.
Leeds' defense is so bad. You got like you said, you guys are good at scoring goals, but your defense is so bad. You're so open at the back. You're letting a bunch of accountants score a goal, and it's so bad. I bet if Leeds was a bloody ovary that didn't work, I bet they would let some kind of impotent guy fucking get them pregnant. That's how bad they are.
Wow. Wow. I'm sorry. I don't consider myself a mentally slow person, but I'm still going to need about 30 seconds to fully process what
Anyways,
was
let's
just said.
talk about Lukonga because I like talking about Lukonga because he's my favorite player to talk about. All right, let's
You
talk
go on him
about
like
him.
he's your lost grandson.
Oh man,
Is
I
he
want
the Firpo of your
well
team?
for Lukonga, right? I do want well for him, but he just keeps upsetting me.
Is he your Firpo?
No, because based on the way you talk about Furpo, no.
Firpo's
By
the
the way,
greatest cup footballer I've ever seen in my life.
I don't think that of Lukonga though. So
Lukonga's just not good enough. He's just not good enough. It's as simple as that.
yeah,
He does
I
not do the basics.
what is he? Can you tell me what he's good at? Because we know,
don't know.
what he doesn't do. Tell me what he's good at because I want to know what I should be looking for when he comes on the pitch.
When he first started for us, he looked okay and he had some decent games. He is athletic. He can pass the ball quite well when he wants to. You know, but he came to us. He came to us highly recommended. He had, with a good reputation. He really was a good player in the Belgian league for Anderlecht. Of course, the Belgian league is far, far, far inferior to the Premier League, but he was a good player there at the age of 18. So, he came highly recommended. But unfortunately, the Premier League is just too much for him. He doesn't have that time and space on the ball that would have been getting in Belgium. And he's just not, and you can see he's struggling with the basics. When he's struggling with the positioning, like you saw against Man City, you saw Erdogan having a go at him, like, what the fuck are you doing? You're supposed to be there. You're not supposed to be there. He's basically had to coach him through the game of where to be. Then you're struggling. You're really struggling if you don't even know where you're supposed to be. So that, to me, that's troubling. That is when you're not even getting the basics, the fundamentals right of where you're supposed to be on the pitch. Then you really do need to go. You're not good enough. But he did show some promise at the start. But I just think it's just it's just too big for him. This is the amount of development
Damn it,
needed is
Ian.
too much for him.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
the team has progressed a lot faster than probably most of us would have thought, and I don't think the youngsters coming in are worth our time just yet, unless they go out on loan, because they're not going to catch up. Like back when back when like Emil Smith-Rowe and Martinelli and Saka were 2 years ago basically, they had enough time to come in and gel and get used to this Premier League football thing. We're past that now, right? We're past that now. You need to be able to play immediately, like Saliba is probably the approach that you need to take. If they're not ready, then they need to go out. So when they come back, you can start them day one. You don't have to wait for a couple of days to figure out games to figure out to bring them in. Yeah. I think Maitland-Niles is playing for Southampton.
Luton have scored against Grimsby. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Cool. Oh, there he is. He's got the ball. He just passed it back. So it's 2-1 here. 2-1. Southampton's up on Blackpool. We got 0-0 Ipswich and Burnley. I don't know. I thought we would see Stefan today, but he's probably watching the match. So, Charlie Patino scored. Very nice. And it's 1-1.
He has. That's just happened. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that Arsenal could not sell the Arsenal project or whatever it is to Maitland-Niles, because we need the defenders, right? And he's sitting
not
around.
Really a defender, though, is he?
He's better at defending than he is going forward.
But he's really a central midfielder, really.
He played better for us as a defender.
Yeah, it wasn't
defensively.
Great.
Defensively, he was played better for us.
Yeah, but he played right and left. We don't need that now, do we? We've got Tomiyasu. We've got Tierney.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess so. Yeah.
Ben White's the starter. No, I mean, I think in terms of Maitland-Niles, I just think he wanted to play central midfield, and sorry, you can't play there. You're not good enough.
I don't get that, but then we play Zombie. in midfield.
Yeah, but because he's originally, he started okay, and that's he's been doing well there before he came to Arsenal. That's the chance Arteta gave him, and he's just unfortunately he hasn't developed, has he? He hasn't taken that next step.
Morton are not called Morton, Ian. They're Greenock Morton.
Chris, we are happy to hear. I think it's your mother as well. That was the question, right? So it's fine. Yeah. And there's a question from Mr. Tom.
I'm happy to answer this as well. I've been designated the Nketiah expert, which I am obviously. In my opinion, if he has to move more than 5 yards for the ball, you're asking too much of him.
Well, no, you know what? You can say that, but the way he scored some of the goals last season, if he's getting a running start, then he's okay in space.
I just think that he's the sort of player who definitely benefits from ball to feet, not too far out from goal. And that's not slagging him off for that. He's the player that I'd want to have the ball from 6 yards out, because I know he's going to bag it.
Mm. There you go.
I'd put my house on it. I'm not going to put my house on it. That's mental. But you know what I mean. It's just a bit of hyperbole to show confidence in Eddie. But generally, I wouldn't put my house on anything. That's just mad, isn't it? Like, I'd be living in a bin probably, because no, my luck, it'd be like the one thing that didn't happen. But I just mean, yeah, like Eddie was actually unlucky last night with the opportunity he had. Like it was just didn't work out for him. Happens in football. Even Lionel Messi misses sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think even when I'm thinking of certain individuals such as Mr. Bamford, I sometimes fail to take that into account.
Yeah. I mean, I think Maitland-Niles is a better 6 than what we have right now.
Could be, but he hasn't done well, has he? He hasn't exactly impressed.
Yeah, he's on the floor right now getting looked at. So, maybe that's a bad sign. Maybe that's a sign to tell us to move on.
Yeah.
Move on. We got some more. Everybody wants to talk to Mr. Tom. I don't get it. What's up, Mr. Tom? Are you worried about
engagement
new manager? DWTT.
Engagement is the order of the day.
He was man of the match playing. You were right. He was man of the match playing center mid, right? So, yep. Well, Sam says he's not that good there. So there you go. I think we're a lot better now, so that's the problem.
Am I worried about Everton's new manager? I genuinely don't think Everton actually are going down, but they are the shambles. And I said this to Gary yesterday, or I said it on stream yesterday, and I'll stand by this. The fact that they had a 2-man managerial shortlist of Marcelo Bielsa and Sean Dyche tells me they have no plan. They don't know what they're doing. But they will luck their way out of trouble like they usually do, because they've spent a lot of money on people, and they will just happen to fall upwards slightly, but never fall upwards enough to actually be good. Just upwards enough to not be the 3 worst.
Sure.
They really do suck though. Like, how can you have a 2-man managerial shortlist of the man who's renowned for being the most attacking manager you'll ever see in the history of football, and the man who's perceived as the most defensive man in the history of football? Like, that isn't George Graham, obviously, like, available right now. How do you come to that conclusion? You have no plan, clearly. Like, at least when Leeds sacked Bielsa, I hated it at the time, at least they had, their plan was, well, there's no point in bringing in an ultra defensive manager, because this team has been drilled to play ultra attacking football. So you just got to bring in someone who's similar but slightly more defensive. So you will about Jesse Marsh, but there was a plan. Whether it works or not is still remains to be seen. It works in that moment. We survived. But Everton are very much again, don't know what we're doing.
And
Go fuck yourselves, Evan.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Well, because we're
All
there.
right.
We're there. Right. We are there. You're their next home game, but we're the next home game that they'll think they can actually win.
Yeah, no, we need to come out really pissed off when we play them, because it was I mean, I don't think we were happy with the way we played. We are definitely better than that. I know we had less players. We didn't have our starters on, but nonetheless, we need to get that stink off of us, because I don't like losing, right? So, but I guess it's a Royal Rumble tonight, Mr.
Is
Tom.
wrestling still going?
Yeah, I mean, there's
course it
people that
is.
still like it. For some reason.
It's almost as old as prostitution, of which I'm well
Almost
versed in
as
both.
old
No, I'm
as-
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I
But
was I didn't think they had wrestling back in
of course I have. Goes back to the circus days, Gary.
circus days, but I thought prostitution was long before the circus.
Whatever.
I don't know. Maybe I have my facts wrong.
Of course, no, you're right. Obviously, you're right. But it just sounded funny in my head at the time, and my facts don't care. My comedy doesn't care about facts sometimes. All right, it does when it suits it. All right.
So but anyways,
Russ,
who is winning? Who is going to win tonight?
All right, Russ. There's no way to actually make money on this because I'm caught between two. All right. It's either going to be Cody Rhodes, the son of a plumber, the son of Dusty Rhodes, or it's going to be Sami Zayn. However, the women's Royal Rumble, I'm pretty certain it's going to be Rhea Ripley. So you heard it here first.
Have a women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, equality, mate. Equality.
So is it just two matches and that's it, or do they have some little?
No. There's other matches, but it is mainly built around the two Royal Rumble matches now. There used to be only one until about 2018, and then it was like, yeah, we really should do one for the women.
Yeah.
It's never good. It's never good. But they try.
Is this why you were upset earlier? I don't know. This.
Yeah. No, because he stumbled into Chris's joke.
Yeah.
But then Ian being Ian was like, well, actually, there's multiple teams in Scotland. And I was like, it's like no one cares. You just stumbled into his joke.
Yeah, you got Harry Knapp, Edward Knapp, and the oldest profession in the world. Yep.
Can't help it. Yeah. No, I have a lot of love for Ian, but if I said the sky was dark at night, he would turn around and say, actually, it's more of a dark hue blue. So I have to be on him. Like, you have to be careful. Like, you can't. There you go.
I hear you. I'm just doing my refresh just to see if anything's happening in the Twitterverse that it might make us happy.
Well.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Latest news. Arsenal has upped their second bid to 70 mil, but Brighton wants 80 mil. So
that's a big increase. Like I thought the Arsenal way to do this is go, we'll give you 61.
Was it always 80? I'm all confused. Was it always 80?
No, I thought they wanted 75.
That's what I thought. But
admittedly, I don't know what they want. I just read that they wanted 75. Like, I don't actually know.
I don't know. Sam, do you remember?
Mysteriously, the Brighton chairman won't take my calls to confirm anything. Mysteriously.
Really?
You have his number?
I found it.
So he's not talking to you.
I know, it's really rude. I was just like, exactly. I was like, I'm never rude, but Mr. Bloom, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
But,
Mr. Bloom.
Yeah.
Mr. Bloom.
I'm sure it's his name.
Yeah. So we'll see what this means. 70 is closer to 75, but it's not 80.
Ian was on the same wavelength as me there. I was like 60 million and £1.
Yeah.
But What do we think of Sheffield United Sheffield Wednesday playing 1-1 against Fleetwood?
They're in the same division. They played last week. Sheffield Wednesday have basically beaten Fleetwood both times they played them this season, if I remember rightly. But I'd actually quite like drawing Sheffield Wednesday because then it'd be a real, you know what I mean, because we don't get to play them often. They hate us and we hate them, and it'd be lovely. Sorry?
Would it be like a grudge match type of thing?
Yeah, basically. Because generally, in the time where Leeds were more of a top division side, Sheffield Wednesday would be in the top division and Sheffield United would be the one that was sort of like up and down. Whereas now it seems like we play Sheffield United more. But it used to be more with Sheffield Wednesday. Although I believe one of the last times, no, in 2014, I believe it was, Sheffield Wednesday beat us 6-0 in the lunchtime kickoff. And I have no excuses. It should have been 10-0. We were terrible. It was exactly what you would expect from how Leeds were run in the mid last decade. It was
No, I mean, I kind of felt
great.
like Banford should have scored. He had a couple opportunities. I mean, sometimes it looked like he was hesitant to even attack the ball in the air, and he was the taller man in the box. I mean, he got squeezed out on one that I saw late in the game. He was on the ground a lot. Man's on the ground a lot. He likes the grass for some reason.
I believe I mentioned at one point in the group chat that I felt like he had a bet on himself to score a penalty because which he'd have got good odds on because, you know, his penalty against Arsenal says that he's not obviously nailed on to score one, but it felt like he wanted a penalty and it was like, Pat, we don't need a penalty to beat these motherfuckers. You should be able to beat them blindfolded. It's what I hate about top division clubs or about football is when you are so significantly better than the opposition and you still try to get these like penalties and these little decisions and stuff. It's like you don't need it. You're better. Just beat them.
All right, we've gone off on a tangent again. We're talking about Leeds. Sorry, people.
Oh, so this Tom guy, honestly, he's always on about Leeds. Fucking hell.
Greatest team in the world. Sorry.
So, Sam, here's a question for you. What do you think of yesterday's display, and did you see anything from City that worried you?
Well, the assembled. Let me tell you. Let me have a little answer for you here, my mucker from another fucker. I tell you what. I was actually pleasantly pleased with the display yesterday from Arsenal because we went to the Etihad. We played a virtually absolutely full team of first team players from Manchester City. They basically only changed their goalkeeper, really, I suppose, from what you could call a full first team. We went there with 6 changes from our first team, regular first team. And I think we gave them a very good game. You know, we had some chances to score. Nketiah was unlucky with a couple of chances. Tomiyasu had a decent shot. You know, we another day we could have probably scored a goal or two. What I really liked, that's very encouraging, and I think very encouraging for our game when we're going to play them now in the league on February 15th, is when we brought on all our starting players towards the end of the game, when finally we brought on the likes of Ødegaard and Martinelli. We look better than them, a lot better than them. You know, we actually started to outplay them quite significantly. Unfortunately, we weren't effective enough to score, but I think it shows that we are going to give them a very good game at home on the 15th. I think we're going to have a good chance of winning that game on the 15th based on what I saw. Now, from City, they are City. They're a very good team with many good players all over the pitch. Haaland is an incredible player that just basically, you know, made holding his bitch and had to get substituted at half time. Saliba made him a lot more quiet. Gabriel did very well against him as well. That's why he tried to stay on Holding all the time, because Holding was a bit easy for him. But there's nothing really that scares me from City, to be honest, because I don't think their team is gelling quite as well as Pep wants them to. So I do think they can be got at. I do think they can be beat, but they're still a very good team.
No, for sure. And if Trossard continues where he is, they might see him again. I don't know what you thought about him.
Haaland, that is the Norwegian way of pronouncing Haaland, basically. So if that's the way you want to spell it, go ahead. But yeah, Haaland, yeah.
I'm not putting that one up. I'm not putting that one up.
That's probably the phonetic way of writing how it's pronounced.
This is how you say Haaland's name, or
Haaland.
how you pronounce it. Sorry, pronounce
Haaland. Yep.
Yeah. No, I know that they didn't ask me. They don't ask me any questions on this show, but now I hate missing opportunities, and I think we missed an opportunity. We'll probably benefit from it because we have less games to play midweek. But I wanted more opportunities to play as a team and keep this thing rolling.
We should play there with more first teamers then, right? That's what I'm saying. You can't have 6 changes and expect to beat City away at Etihad. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it wasn't like they scored. They didn't score in the first half, so we could have made changes maybe a little bit earlier.
Yeah, that's true. We could have made changes earlier.
Winning at the Etihad isn't for everyone.
Yeah, no, you got that right. I mean, and that's another thing, right? You got to get these monkeys off your back playing in these stadiums, and like it's not a fortress there. You're not getting anything when you go in there. You know what I mean? That has to change, right? If we're moving
it's
forward.
The least intimidating stadium I've ever seen with one of the best teams that play in it.
Yeah. All you heard was Arsenal cheers throughout the match, though. It was crazy, right?
Like they have a team that is deserving of like 100,000 people like raining down. I don't want to say abuse, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Like to make the other team feel like fuck, because you go there and you know you're in for a game, but the silence doesn't equate with what's actually happening on the grass a lot of the time.
No,
you often hear the away team more than.
Yeah, the support is not great at the Etihad, but the team is so good that it's just basically the team playing well and winning games. But it's not. I don't think it's because of the home support.
Yeah,
I like this one. Yeah, he bigs you up, and then he basically trips you, and pushes you down.
No, he's saying that Man City's own support is a disgrace.
No, I think we know who.
No, it's not about me.
I think we know. I think we know what he was talking about. Sam is laughing because he believes me.
You're a fucking disgrace, Tom.
Well, yeah, I am, but obviously I couldn't initially admit to. Yeah, see.
Tom's right, but he's trying to be nice now. He's like he already told us, the toothpaste is out of the tube. Man. We already know.
Can I answer the assembled question? He loves asking questions, and I love answering them. He asks good questions because it gives me the opportunity to get on my soapbox. Right, Mr. Tom, are you including Leeds when you say big clubs? Let me just tell you something, yeah, brother, yeah. Leeds United were ranked the 18th most richest club in the world earlier in the week based on revenue. All right. Now, I don't think that's too bad for a team that's only actually been in the Premier League for less than 3 years. Let me be clear, that doesn't actually mean how much money you have in the bank, because obviously Newcastle would be number 1 and they weren't even in the top 20 of this. Just based on how much you actually make.
Right.
So we're not actually been doing too bad.
You guys must sell a lot of pies.
Well, we sold 2 pies for 100 million, nearly.
Yeah, so that's going to help you.
Anybody know the answer to this?
Calvin Phillips looks like he's at a few pies, doesn't he? Fucking hell.
BX, what language
does truth sad when I look at him? Sorry.
It comes from It comes from the Matrix.
Yeah, we're all not really playing football. It's just to keep us distracted from the fact
All
that
just
the
a
government are
simulator.
doing whatever.
It's all just simulator. You got a 14-year-old boy in some other dimension controlling you.
Yeah, this steak that I'm eating is not really. It's like, don't tell me this shit. I just want to enjoy it.
So you got Ray has joined us, and he's come out. He said, "Tom is the voice of truth." There you go.
I know that Riddy hasn't hacked him because Riddy would not have said that.
Yeah.
Riddy's in Liverpool, probably.
Yeah, I think he did say he was going to be there, didn't he? He did say that, didn't he?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I just checked fans, and still no word on Casado, whether we're going to get him or not. I think Chelsea's waiting for the time to jump on this deal.
That's supposed to be a human battery. What's it?
I don't. What does that mean? Can you tell me what that means?
I don't know. Just I mean, it's just Russ just lines.
He's referencing the Matrix. No, it's the Matrix. What we were talking about.
Oh yeah. You're right. Yeah, but I was just thinking human battery. Just lines. It's too easy. There's so many things you can do with that.
Yeah.
You know, you can get plugged. Human battery. You know, he get batteried everywhere he goes.
All right. Well, these games are coming to an end right now. They're all in the 90th minute.
Do we need to have an intervention? We need to have an intervention today and get him to confront you with your cocaine problem.
Whose cocaine problem?
Tom's cocaine problem.
No, I'm ill. I've been. Well, I'm trying to mute every time I sneeze.
Right.
And that has nothing to do with the stuff that you put up your nose?
Well, no, that's just a convenient byproduct of it. So if anyone asked, I could be like, oh, I've got gold, but I really do. But I'm just, to be honest, it's not exclusively cocaine. It would whatever I can get my hands on, really. If it fits up my nostril, I'll sniff it. But
Glenwyn, welcome to the show. Yeah, we were talking football, but then we let Mr. Tom join us, and that's where things go a bit. Battery farmer. I don't know where this is going.
There's at least 5 non-Premier League ties, so I think we are well. We could potentially be well primed to have a cup run without playing anyone decent.
Hey, that's what you. Hey, who cares how you get there, right? Who cares how you get there?
I will happily win the FA Cup without playing a single Premier League team. I'll tell you that right now.
Bristol City 3-0 up against West Brom. I mean, no, they beat them 3-0.
Oh, Sunderland have scored.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Wait a second.
Land of Sunder.
Let's see how this goes. How did they score?
No, they've not. It's been taken. Sorry, it said 2-1, but it's been chalked off. My apologies, guys.
All right.
It did say it though, but they've
The Hampton of the South was still 2-0 up against the Pool of Black.
Yeah.
2-1.
Yes, I'm saying they're still 2-0 up.
I don't know where you're going with this, Russ, but I don't even know what this means either.
Yeah, they're flying to a 3-0 defeat.
Is that what flying means?
Rovers
no. To be fair to Russ, though, when their current manager is the ex-Leeds assistant manager, who also managed Huddersfield to the playoff final. To be fair, when he took them over, West Brom were in the bottom 3 of the Championship, and they are now, despite this loss, obviously, they are now 10th. So their actual form under him has actually been quite good. Dare I say, flying would be the accurate description. Just not what I would have said on a day that they lost 3-0 to Bristol City.
But then we have the Rovers of Blackburn 2-2 against the City of Birmingham.
Jordan James getting a 91st minute equaliser.
How do you say this? Because I don't want to say it wrong.
Slough.
Slough. Okay.
Slough, a drawing. What
It's where the UK version of The Office is set,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
actually,
Slough.
yeah.
All right.
basically.
All
That's where Russ lives. He lives in Slough. He lives in
So
a
the
boring paper
Southampton
factory.
Blackpool match is over. I think Southampton won that 2-1. Patino is going home, and Maitland-Niles, who came off in the second half, continues on.
Not many people know this, but Russ lives in a cardboard box in a paper factory in Slough.
Russ.
Yep.
It looks really spacious when I've seen it inside.
Paper
I think I've
factory,
been.
you say?
Yeah.
Wernham
Yeah,
Hogg,
well, you
the
know, these
company.
cardboard boxes, they can be quite big.
Wernham Hogg, the company from The Office. That makes
Yeah.
sense. It all adds together. It's one neat little package.
Yeah, the Assemble's got questions for you because I don't know a lot of the
Who's
stuff
the
you're
assemble?
talking about.
He's a fucking detective or something. He asks more questions than fucking PC Plod.
No,
Tom, who are these teams you speak of, and are they in
he's
the
right.
commercial?
He's right. No. I'm going to defend the Assembly. He's right to distrust me on anything I say.
Oh yeah, you're not trustworthy.
No, he's right. He's right to question everything I say. I believe they were a team that Huddersfield were a team that were in the Premier League for 2 years.
Oh, Huddersfield! Oh my God, they were awful.
And West Brom were the one team that Sam Allardyce couldn't keep in the Premier League. That's how good they were.
Hell. Scarsdale,
See?
I think so.
Russ knows. Russ is my informant on The Office.
So The Office got knocked down. Damn.
Yeah,
correct. I did a refresh and I saw that. Yeah, they put in an offer.
Good show that.
60 mil plus.
How the fuck can this guy be worth that? Honestly, that's just ridiculous.
Well, that's why they have like. I don't. How many times are you going to get rejected in a window?
Our record signing played today. £35 million we paid for a 20-year-old. 20.
Yeah, we don't need 20 more 20-year-olds, I think, right? Or we need really established players, right? With years on their CVs.
I mean, he seemed a fine player against Akron and Stanley. I'm not the true barometer of a player's quality, but yeah, he did have a lot of quality. But
you guys didn't score until your scoring didn't happen until the second half, right after you wore them down.
We scored in the first 20 minutes.
Your scoring meaning multiple, didn't happen until the second half after you wore them down.
Which is what I said would happen.
I don't know about those accountants. They got a bit.
I believe in the group chat. I said they will. The first goal means that they will be forced to come out and be more expansive, and couple that with them getting tired is where we will actually get more goals.
The manager did the wrong thing.
Junior Firpo scored, for fuck's sake.
The manager did the wrong thing. Their manager should have brought them some more tax returns. There's more tax returns in the second half. They could have won the game.
Yeah. No, Glenn, when we talked about this, they're asking Glenn Casedo to stay away while he deals with his transfer, which they don't want to do. So
don't blame him at all.
Yeah, his wages. What is it? They said he's making like $5,000 right now.
I'm right, Ian. I know I'm right.
Yeah.
Scoring even means one. I know.
Yeah. Todd Bowley is waiting there. He's probably at their facility, just like, let me know when you're done messing around, and I'll pay whatever they say plus 5. So,
it's a good transfer strategy, though, if you can afford to do it.
Yeah. No, Ian, you're right. Scoring means scoring. Funny enough, you're right. But I meant you scoring in the sense that you were doing a lot of it, right? And doing a lot of it pretty fast. Like,
he scored 15 goals in the FA Cup this season.
That's crazy. You only got 25 in the league. So, I mean, that's crazy. You said it right. Ian's on your side. He must like you or something.
No, that must mean I'm genuinely right. Because if I was even 1% wrong, he'd fucking let me know it.
Or maybe he's not feeling well. Like you, he's got the sniffles or something.
That could be
He
right.
doesn't
That
know what
could
he's
be right,
talking
yeah.
about.
That's true. No, he knows. He knows. He knows. He knows. He's a pedantic fucker, that Ian, so he knows.
Yeah.
Let
So
me
I
tell
think
you, right?
all the matches are done for now. If there is anything, there is a couple more coming up later. Luton is still 0-0. Sorry, 2-2 with Grimsby Town. Sheffield
99th
Wednesday and
minute.
Fleetwood Town is still 1-1 based on this thing here that I got. Coming up
I'm sure
in an
Grimsby are
hour,
non-league.
it's Preston North End and that team. And then later on today, you've got Tom's favorite team, the team in red, playing at home to Reading. So there you go. You can only figure out what team in red Mr. Tom is not happy with.
All right, can I tell you just? Can I read a quote that I read from Gary Neville earlier, and I think it was it amused me. Sorry, he was talking about playing at Anfield against Liverpool. He wrote, "I used to love playing at Anfield. 90 minutes worth of insults about my appearance, mainly from blokes who look like extras off Planet of the Apes. I remember one game, a little chubby lad shouted, 'Oi, Gary, my dad says you're a wanker.' I turned around and said, 'Yeah, I've got 8 Premier League medals. What have you got besides diabetes, you fat little twat?' He was in floods of tears. That's what a rivalry is all about. Good-natured ribbing."
Wow. Yeah, I guess you dish it out. You gotta be able to take it, huh? Yeah, 4K. Gonna win. Yeah.
He's had £1,000 pay rise by the start of the shows. He was on 3K about half an hour ago.
Yeah, and you guys watching the Bundesliga? What is going on in there?
The Bundesliga.
You got scores for that? Got any scores for that?
Bundesliga at 5:30. Oh, Bayern Munich are playing Eintracht Frankfurt, yeah?
Yeah. So how's that? Let me see how that's going.
Well, it's goalless because they start at 5:30.
So there you go. So there's nothing happening there. Yeah, I'm going through the ESPN thingy, seeing what's going on. Yeah. Pink cushion, Neville's thicker. Yeah.
Oh, Union Berlin win the Berlin derby, yeah?
Who?
Union Berlin beat Hertha Berlin 2-0.
Berlin.
I believe Union Berlin are only recently in the Bundesliga, are they not? I know he's a twat, but that particular thing amused me, and you all laughed. Don't deny you didn't laugh.
I stopped
It was
listening
funny.
to you once you said hello, Gary. So
You had him at hello.
It's true. It's true. I was going to give you a nice, easy question.
Oh, you ready for a question already?
Oh,
no, I'm not. But I was going to give you a nice, easy one, but I've decided to change it because you're pricks.
Oh.
No, I'm not doing it now. That's madness. I mean,
For those who are interested, Barcelona's up 1-0 away to Girona.
My Girona.
To quote Mackenzie Cook's character Gav Keenan from the episode The Office, in the episode where they do the quiz night, they go, "Are all your questions going to be about the army?" At that point, they'd all been about the army, and he goes, "No, in fact, I've got one about the Swiss Canal." and then 5 seconds later, shit you not, he turns around and goes, "Which canal?"
Yeah.
It cut off because that was the joke.
No.
Pretty good.
Yeah, Partey should be available next week, so we are happy about that, and hopefully we can get an easy win there. It is a road game, right? We're playing at it.
Yeah,
we're playing at
Goodison Park.
Yeah. I got to get the names of the stadiums down as well, much less the names of the teams.
I don't need to learn that one.
Yeah, true and not true. I still want to.
They're going to have the best stadium in the championship. The Right, they're going.
There you go.
No, because they built a new stadium, aren't they?
Doing a refresh, guys. Still nothing except for Thomas. News about Partey is still. He's healthy, so he'll be ready to play. Let's see. Considering it was Arsenal versus City was calm, do you think tempers will flare on the 15th? Tempers will flare on the 15th. What does that mean? Like before or after the match?
That's when you're playing Man City, is it not?
Yeah. He thinks on the field, doesn't he? I think.
I think it will be. I think it will be like most matches where both teams are desperate to win. Where the one who isn't winning will get more angry than the one that is.
Yeah. Where is that match at again? I forget.
Which match?
The City match. Is that is
going to be at the Etihad, isn't it?
No, it's home. We play home, so
yeah.
There you go. So
it's going to be on Prime.
So yeah, we're playing at home, so we got that on our side. We play well there. We haven't lost there. So I think worst case we get a point, right? We'll take that any day. But you should be able to get a win there. Definitely should be able to get a win there. 15. Yep. This thing's a little slow for some reason. Yeah. He's moaning because another man called him ugly. Yeah. Will Haaland start against us?
Of course he will.
Of course. Yeah. I don't think that's That's like saying, will Partey start for us or Rudiger, right?
He will, when the Champions League gets to the business end, he will stop playing league matches.
Is he that big of a difference? Does he give them the better odds than they had last season?
I think the theory is that when they get into the crunch matches in the Champions League near the end of the season, they've always lacked that bit of firepower to actually get themselves over the line. I think criticism has always been, you're playing these Champions League, you're playing Real Madrid without a striker, sort of thing, ultimately. So he's going to finish the top scorer, even if he doesn't play another match between now and May in the league. So I think realistically, they will get to a stage where, like, come March, April, where they're going to sacrifice him on Saturday because they'll play him on Wednesday. So, we sat here every week saying, oh, yeah, he's on track for 60 goals, 75 goals. He's going to end up with 30 in the league because they're going to play him. They've bought him to win the Champions League. If they win the Premier League because of him, that's just... They're at a stage where the Premier League is secondary of importance.
And we got a red card over here in the Barcelona match. Dijon, how is that how you say his name? Dijon? Basically grabbed a player, brought him down, and nothing was called. And the manager got a little pissed off, jumped on the field a little bit, and got a red. So they're down a man, they're down a goal. And there you go.
Oh, those dirty pricks are winning. Sorry. Galatasaray are winning. Fucking hate them.
That's right, they're nutters.
Yes, 80%
fucking
of
hate
their
them
goals.
cunts.
Yeah.
Fucking losers.
Oh, do you hear about the Kevin Campbell played down, for Trabzonspor? Oh, when you get the chance, hear his stories about he's had on various interviews, on podcasts. His stories of his time down in Turkey. My God, they are just completely bonkers.
Mm-hmm.
Completely bonkers.
Yeah.
As I'm sure Arsenal fans will not be aware of why I hold such an intense dislike of Galatasaray. basically we played them in the UEFA Cup semi-final in the year 2000, and they killed 2 of our fans.
Oh yeah, there was that. I remember that. That's terrible. Yeah, disgusting.
And Galatasaray refused to allow us to postpone the match, so we had to play it.
That's disgusting. I remember that. That is absolutely disgusting.
That doesn't that's disappointing.
And Galatasaray have basically, there was nothing on their part that showed any remorse to the incident, anything like that. They were basically like, well, that's too bad.
I remember that incident. That was something, that whole event there. That was disgusting. But you wait for a bunch of pricks, aren't they? And your FIFA. They're just all a bunch of pricks.
Yeah.
They really are.
It was basically play the match or you'll forfeit, essentially.
Yeah.
Obviously, we lost.
Yeah.
Oh, disgusting.
Yeah, that sucks.
Really disgusting, that is.
Yeah.
So seeing bad things happen to them. Yeah, and then Harry Kewell, who played in the match, fucking joined them. Oh, that's actually why. Like him saying he was going to sign a contract with us throughout 2003 and then joining Liverpool for free is bad enough.
Do you know what?
Sorry,
finish. You say but.
No, I was going to say, but the fact that he then went there, I don't like if any Leeds player went there. Like when Alioski was one of our fullbacks in the first season in the Premier League, it was rumoured that he was going to go there when he was out of contract, and it was like, oh, don't go there, please don't go there. Like this would be really bad. Like, and he basically chose not to go there, mainly because Saudi Arabia offered him more money, quite frankly.
Yeah.
But the reality was, it's like you don't have the emotional attachment to this than we do. You probably were a child when this happened, to be fair. But Harry Kewell played in the match. The match itself, he was in it. So it's like, why we think it's a disgrace that you went there, basically. And then you went there. It was... So every time Harry Kewell gets a managerial job and then gets sacked after 6 weeks, small amount of joy.
Yeah. No, Kewell
it wasn't Eddie, it was Pepe. Sorry.
Now, Harry Kewell did come across as a bit of a prick, didn't he? But what I was going to say was, when you know he's joined Galatasaray after that event, it goes to show you that was probably the only decent, like halfway decent club in terms of stature and money. Yeah, that was actually offering him a contract. You know, he probably had to choose them or no one, basically. I bet you that was the case for him.
I'm assuming it's like Alan Smith joined Manchester United when we got relegated, despite saying he'd never play for them, because he basically instructed his agent, I will only join a Champions League team. And the agent went, well, the only Champions League team that I've put a bid in is Manchester United.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, I suppose I've got to take this. It's like, well, you didn't have to take it, but you said a lot about yourself that you did. So...
Yeah.
I've sat here and been like, oh yeah, well, Mudrik's got a responsibility to his family to take the Chelsea deal and all that. So I don't want to hypocrite myself in that. But Mudrik didn't join a team where he played in a match in front of people that killed 2 of the fans of the team that he was playing for. Like, it's slightly different.
Different level.
Exactly. But and I know someone could go, oh, but Chelsea funded the Russian war, and that. It's like, they've funded both sides of it, and they're pricks even if they didn't, because they're Chelsea. So,
yeah, we go on about where that oil money came from, but yeah,
exactly. Like, I can name 55 reasons Chelsea are shitbags, and I wouldn't even have to touch the war.
True. Let's go to this chat. Let's go through the chat real quick here as we move along. We're talking about Haaland here. I think our defense held up well against Haaland. I mean, we definitely...
He had Holding in his pocket, but Gabriel did well, to help out. And then when Saliba came in, we didn't see much of him at all.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think part of the battle was because Holding was basically in a one-on-one with Haaland, it opened up the other Man City players to essentially work their magic?
Yeah,
I mean,
it gave them more space.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
I mean, you can't not mark Haaland. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I just mean because it was such an intense battle between the two, it put the other 10 players against each other, sort of around them.
It's the reason why they scored in the second half. When you have a weak link and you're able to exploit it, then you just open yourself up because everybody has to rotate to it and not do their job. I mean, that's essentially how that goal was scored. The midfield, as you said, the one video showing Erdogan basically screaming at Lukonga to do something. To do something, and then you saw Erdogan had to take